What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon Grunewald, here as always with my co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. How's it going, guys?
It's going good. How are you guys doing?
I'm so much better now that Josh/Jeff is back with us. I missed you.
We missed you,
Yeah.
Jeff.
FYF Jeff, follow me on Twitter and
Jeff.com.
Twitch and Jeff.com.
Jeff.com.
It's got to be taken.
I'm checking that right now.
I guarantee you it's a porn site at this point.
Almost all the available domains are.
It says this site can't be reached whenever I try to go to Jeff.com.
That's good. That's good.
What the hell? How does no one have Jeff.com? Jeff Bezos, what are you doing?
Maybe your mic sounded super weird, and it sounded like you were just raging over that for a second.
I want Jeff.com.
Oh man, this is already registered.
I bet
let's see who owns it, and we'll send somebody to their house.
I bet Jeff Bezos had it, and then in the divorce settlement, it was part of the half that went to his ex-wife. So now she owns it, and she's just taking it offline out of spite.
Squatting on it, yeah.
It was probably his personal passion project, Jeff.com. It was all of his favorite pictures of himself. Any picture.
Oh God, that's not good for Jeff Bezos. I don't like that idea. So it is a porn site.
Oh, great.
But very specific.
I was talking to my one buddy a few weeks ago, and we were just having a theoretical conversation about if you could switch bodies with one person, who would it be? And he said Jeff Bezos' wife, and I thought that was a little strange, but good for him.
Such a weird answer.
She is one of the richest people in the world. She's not too old. She's she's got
the switch bodies. The focus was on the body.
So literally, we had a conversation leading into this where we would physically just switch minds. So she would be in his body and not know what to do either. So yeah. I digress.
I'll take DK Metcalf, and I'll just be the biggest, fastest, strongest person I've ever met.
Here's the thing. You have to deal with your own body person now going crazy saying, I'm actually DK Metcalf. What's going on?
Wait, why do I have to deal with that?
Well, it's going to come into play. Let's be honest. You're not going to just.
No one's going to believe the random white dude in San Antonio, Texas, saying I'm the real DK Metcalf. No one's going to buy into that.
But people are going to start noticing that Metcalf's acting a lot weirder all of a sudden.
Okay, you saw Juju
so often now.
Juju this year started posting more TikToks. He went from the most loved to one of the most hated guys in the NFL. Maybe he's not hated, but annoyed with. But the public perception of Juju switched this year.
It did,
and no one is sitting here going, did he switch bodies with someone?
Well, if there was someone in Texas saying, I'm the real Juju, that's a fake Juju, you might think,
you got a Freaky Friday situation going on.
No one would buy it for a second. You'd be able to just say, that guy's crazy, and then that would be the end of it. You probably wouldn't even have to say that. I fight your proposition that you would have to argue with the person.
You're absolutely correct, but real fast, I'll go back to it once. If it was Jeff Bezos, for instance, he would have a lot of knowledge that you wouldn't have, and it would get kind of weird, right? I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
All right,
I digress.
That gets super weird though, because if you take that logic, what part of his knowledge and what part of your knowledge goes into the new body? Does he keep his knowledge?
Just the body.
It combines. It's a superset of the two.
The knowledge and the brain switch, the body stays. You know what I'm saying?
The consciousness. Okay. So it's just a different consciousness, but you both all of a sudden now have 2 lifetimes worth of knowledge.
No, you only have yours.
No, you don't get any of DK's knowledge if you.
You just said you got it. Okay, so then you wouldn't have any of that knowledge for Jeff Bezos.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got it.
we got there.
I love when you're arguing with someone and you're both saying exactly
violently agreeing.
Oh my god.
Swamp says, interesting time to join Who Dat. It's either me or DK Metcalf. We'll never know.
Header No Card says FFF IPO win. I'm assuming he means Front Yard Fantasy. It's pretty soon, I'm hoping.
Hey, what's happening?
I did look up stocks to see if there was a different that was one of the meme stocks going up, but Forbidden.
Everyone's going nuts over these stocks today, right? GameStop.
We're moving to don't stop buying GameStop, and then at the end of the week, next week, we're moving on to AMC. That's the next move.
I mean, like, let's just go, Motorola, Nokia. No, I'm joking.
Chicken out,
the next one peoples are targeting, like you say Blockbuster is a joke, but I saw BlackBerry, Blockbuster, and AMC all as ones that people were targeting for the next short squeeze, but we'll see. From my understanding of it, which is very limited, like what's going on with GameStop right now is not going to, this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing, not let's see if we can do it again next week kind of thing.
Man, those people.
But a lot of people are going to be looking for the next one, though.
The people who are holding GameStop for like decades, and they're just like,
you're like
so sad.
No!
This is just like the best week of their life. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe it's happening.
You know how when you
in here,
you know how when you sign up for Robinhood, you get one free stock.
Yeah.
Well, yes. I know someone who someone who has a GameStop share. They got it at like $5, and now it's over 300. I don't think so. This is someone who
I thought it was at 100.
Oh, well, today it's over 300.
300. Yeah, it's at 330 or something like that. Yeah.
And people are still buying.
It was like at $4 or $5 like a month ago. Like
whenever I checked, it was at 75, and I was tempted, like, do I buy in now? And I was like, no. And then I didn't do it, and now it's at 300. And I'm having the same thing, like, do I buy in now? But I'm not going to do it.
It's just gambling at that point. That's all.
I'm too poor to play around with money like that.
Yeah.
I've been having some fun in the crypto markets. I don't think we've ever actually talked about this, but it's been fun. I digress again. I love digressing.
Humble brag, and digress.
Yeah, I got all my money in Dogecoin, so just waiting for that to go up. I don't have all. I was about to say I do have like $50 in Dogecoin that I bought a while ago, but there's literally nothing that's going to happen with that. I just am sitting on it.
I don't.
That's what they said about GameStop.
That's what they said about GameStop. We're gonna write.
If Dogecoin like did something better, I feel no. I whatever.
Okay, this is not a cryptocurrency investing podcast.
It's not
yet, but maybe during the off season we dive into that. What's up, NBA?
That's true. It's not the off season yet. Actually, JL, I gotta stop you there.
It's the fantasy off season.
It is. There we go. There we go.
So maybe during the actual NFL off season, that's when we dive in.
That's when we dive. Right now, we're on the diving board, just looking down, wondering if we're brave enough.
Well, I am happy to be back, guys. I was in Deep Creek for a few days, and I had a great time.
Is that where the Purina headquarters is?
Oh yeah, Deep Creek Purina. Yeah. Exactly.
You were held hostage.
I'm guessing that's what you were using as an excuse for not being here.
Not an excuse. Yeah, we told everyone.
I mean, the reason, not an excuse. Reason. Yeah, I mean, I was hostage in Deep Creek.
You met with the folks. Yeah, you met with the folks from Purina because you were developing a brewery for dogs and humans to share beer.
Beer with your dogs.
You were gonna partner with them to make a dog food flavored small batch sour. When they wouldn't agree to the price point you wanted, that's what dogs like. Come on, Josh.
Listen, man, you're a businessman.
You're the one who came up with the idea. I don't know why.
You don't let your preferences.
I know. I'm just.
But when they wouldn't agree to your price point, they took you hostage after you tried to steal their recipe. But I'm really glad you got rescued. We sent the good folks at Blue Buffalo over to get you. I don't know if they're the ones who finally got you out.
No, they were. They were. Blue Buffalo, they're great people over there. I highly recommend. Not a sponsor, but I highly recommend their dog food.
Once Blue Buffalo be our first corporate sponsor, that'd be so funny. I'm gonna move past this conversation for a second, guys. If you enjoy this, follow us on Front Yard Fantasy, YouTube, and on Twitch. We have conversations like this all the time. And if you don't enjoy this, I promise there's so much fantasy content on there.
I love that you're like, if you enjoy this nonsense banter that we just had for
the next thing I was gonna say was, and then for those of you that do not, maybe just skip the first 5 to 10 minutes of our YouTube videos, and there's some good fantasy content in there as well. We do mock drafts, we play games, we answer questions. Subscribe to us over on YouTube and Twitch at frontyardfantasy.com for a good mixture of a little bit of
frontyardfantasy.com.
I don't know why I said that.
Do we own that now? We've owned that forever.
We've owned that for a while, but that's not where you follow us.
You never say it, but I love it.
On YouTube and on Twitch. That's where we are. Front Yard Fantasy, YouTube and Twitch.
Right,
okay. With that being said, guys, today we're going to be playing a round of Fantasy Horse, and in honor of Jeff being back, he is going to be hosting for us today.
Let's go. I got some great questions.
Cool. Before we do that, I had a question. Because we are in the midst of a Superflex Dynasty startup draft, and we're getting to the later rounds, Pickings at quarterback are getting slim. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about who your favorite late round kind of sleeper targets for quarterbacks are in a Superflex Dynasty League.
Okay.
So I'll give you a second to think about that. Before we do that, NBA has a question for us. Is there a correlation that number 1 plus number 2 QB, Goff plus Wentz, are on the hot seat this offseason?
Number
I think it was a weak
correlation.
QB.
I think he's saying
confused.
like where they were drafted. Were they drafted 1 and 2 that year, or what was?
Oh, was that? That was the same year. It was the same year. It was. Yeah, it is a correlation because their contracts are running up, and so now they're on the hot seat. It's the final year of their contract. You know, they got to the teams have to figure out if they are their franchise quarterbacks.
I mean, you kind of saw it with Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota as well. Like, it was a weak. Like overall, you can look at it. It was a fairly weak quarterback draft class. So there was like some misvaluations at the top there. Their contracts are running out at the same time. Not guaranteed a job for sure. Correlated.
There's even causation there.
What's up, Jay?
What
you
up,
beautiful
Jay?
people? Are you talking to all 3 of us or just 1 or 2 of us? I guess it's got to be at least
probably
2.
just me. He's just referring to me in the.
What's up, Sean?
What up,
happy
Sean?
Wednesday. I almost said happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sean.
NBA says, aren't you guys going over the top 3 teams?
I was
from Mock
literally
Draft
just about to bring that up and remind you, Simon, that I think you forgot.
I did. I got so excited about my question.
You were too
busy.
busy.
You know, I was kidnapped by Purina. I didn't have a lot of time to go over the teams, but I'm down to get into them a little bit. You know.
Let's go over them.
I mean, I think my team was the best, but whatever, it doesn't really matter.
After this question,
except for Jeff. Freaking Jeff.
Beautiful people, except for Jeff. Fucking Jeff.
What an idiot. Yes. I feel like I'm the only one that like, made a mistake there. And
no, Simon did while you were gone.
Oh, did
what did I do?
You
dropped the hard one, huh? You know what I did this weekend that I've never done before? That the Purina people made me do. I didn't want to do it.
What?
But, smelling salts.
Wow, really?
They wake you up.
Honestly, when the fantasy footballers did smelling salts on their podcast, like just out of curiosity, it was one of my favorite moments from them of all time because you could tell like all of them had some expectation for what it was going to do, but they were not ready. Like every single one of them, they were like, oh, this will probably wake me up a little. And then like just the immediate reaction was like, shows you that it was a lot stronger than they thought it was going to be.
Honestly, it was a little bit less strong than I thought it was going to be, but man, do your eyes go like this afterwards? Like,
woo, yeah.
What up, fantasy scholars?
What's up?
Welcome in. Okay, I have the draft board ready. Took me a second.
Mom says, let's go, J.O. Dropping some bombs. Whoopsie doopsie.
Oh, share screen.
It's supposed to be a family-friendly show, but we are not.
Yeah, well, we like families, you know.
We do like families.
We're here.
We're here.
Here we are.
So you're just announcing my team's the best, and that's all we're doing, right?
No, we're going through our favorite teams from this draft. So I don't know who wants to go first with a team that stands out to them. And what we're going to do is do not talk about your own team. If one of you guys, if like your team is your favorite team, it's probably going to be one of our favorite teams. Let someone else talk about it. Let's grab at least 1 or 2 teams that are not your own to discuss like why you like them, maybe the weak spots that you see. John Luke, do you have any one team that stands out to you that you want to discuss?
Yeah, I mean, I like Parker's team a lot. Christian, it's the P. Sewell in the one spot. Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Darren Waller, Juju, T. Higgins. I would have loved to get a wide receiver 1 on that team. I understand why you went Waller, but I don't know if I would have personally. I just don't like. I know I like Juju. I think he's a good value in a lot of drafts. This is redraft, right? So
yep,
a little less than redraft, but he might not be on the Steelers. I'm not expecting him to be on the Steelers this next season. I love T. Higgins, as you guys know, but then Jarvis and Marvin Jones, I'm just like, I don't love the depth there at all.
There's I completely agree with that. I probably wouldn't have gone Waller there as well. Maybe grabbed who's available at that spot. You said DK.
DK.
Great. AJ Brown for me.
Yeah, you would take AJ Brown over DK Metcalf for redraft next season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're hand in hand. They're hand in hand.
They're holding hands.
They're holding hands. Damn it, you beat me to
In a
it, Joe.
PPR league, I think AJ Brown's targets are going to go up next year. Maybe they sign Corey Davis. They probably should sign Corey Davis, but if they don't, man.
I like Justin Herbert like that. I like having him on my team. I don't think I would have taken him that early though. Let's see.
I have no issue with taking him.
I can't tell. Did he go before D Watt and Dak or after?
Dak went with the 6'9". Justin Herbert went with the 6'12".
So, yeah. Okay. All right. That makes a little more sense.
He went after Dak.
I was thinking that he went before Dak and Deshaun. I would not have done that.
No, he went after Dak and Deshaun. Josh, what about you? I agree with all the things you said about Parker's team. Which one of these teams do you want to talk about?
There are two teams that stand out to me. There's JR and then there's Julia Jones, which is NBA Riggs' team. I was
like,
really
here we go.
Yeah, calm down, NBA Rick. I'm trying to decide which one I want to talk about here. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that your wide receivers aren't as strong scares me away. So I'm going to go to JR's. Sorry.
Wait, time out. Before we do this, I want to remind everyone what the roster.
The settings. That's very
important.
One
quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, one tight end, 5 flex. Yeah. So he does only have to start one wide receiver.
And that scares me. I mean, just the one wide receiver that's going to be started. The one wide receiver for JR's team, Derrick Henry, I'm very confident next year. Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, elite. Cam Akers, I think he's going to be drafted much higher than that when it actually comes around to next year. Deontay Johnson's a good value. Dak Prescott, an elite quarterback as long as he's healthy. TJ Hawkinson, great value at him. I just think there's great value all throughout this draft, and I think it's going to be a good team next year.
Yeah,
I like G-Man.
I was going to say Damian Harris and Darrell Henderson are both good, like high upside late draft picks. So.
Especially if you got Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson. Ooh, yeah. JR's team's probably my favorite of all the teams.
You're a liar.
NBA wants to know why is his wide receiver weak? Why are there wide
just
receivers?
Compared to every other team, your one wide receiver going to be starting every week is much less, in my opinion. I know you only need to start one. We only need to start one of every position. I'd rather start the tight end on JR's team. I'd rather start the quarterback on his team. Maybe not. Yeah, I would. Dak Prescott over Russell, a little more consistent. So when it comes down to it, you got those running backs that are going to be awesome for you. Don't get me wrong. I mentioned your team for a reason. All right.
Now the saving grace though there I think for NBA is the depth. Like I'm much happier if I have 5 flex spots I have to fill every week. I'm much happier putting Corey Davis and those top 4 running backs who are gonna hopefully give you that consistent value every week versus having Marquise Brown, like Damian Harris and Darrell Henderson, Jacoby Myers, all great upside plays, but there's a reason they're drafted so late, right? Like there's upside, but there's also really low floor and inconsistent floor. And so I do like the depth. I feel like a little more comfortable with NBA Riggs' team.
What I like about what I like about their team is that I feel like almost more than anybody else, they took advantage of the roster settings in this draft.
Who's that? Both of them.
I was talking about NBA, but Julia Jones on the draft sheet for those of you watching, but starting off 4 running backs like that, in a normal league, you might look a little bit crazy. You're going to be weak at that wide receiver spot, but knowing these draft settings, I feel like they really took that into account and took advantage of what they're going to be able to start each week. That was one of the teams I wanted to talk about. And I appreciate that, like taking that into account and really changing the way that you're drafting because of the roster settings.
NBA said, JR only has 2 RB. Isn't that weak RB depth? It's not just, it is like if you're thinking about like a normal conventional roster, but his 2 RBs are Derrick Henry and Cam Akers. And so if you're just like comparing those two to your 2 wide receivers, Damian Harris.
You got a backup. You got a handcuff for one of those as well. So Damian Harris actually was one of the top Pro Football Focus rated running backs that this season. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And Derrick Henry plus Cam Akers is not comparable to Tyler Lockett plus Robbie Anderson when it comes to depth.
And they were taken differently, so it's not like necessarily.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying you can't just look at the number of running backs. Like your running back depth is unreal because you have first 4 rounds running backs. His running back depth, he also invested 2 of his first 4 picks in running backs, which is
slightly more balanced or like spread. But I think you both almost took you both had the same strategy, just like slightly leaning one way or the other. And I think that strategy that you both took is better than the other strategies that were taken in this draft.
The team I wanted to talk about, which is kind of the inverse NBA outside of the first round, was Big Dylan's team. I'm a huge fan of that team, the 11th draft spot. Starting out with Jonathan Taylor, who I'm super excited about for next year. So you got that one solid running back, then you loaded up on these high upside wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, that's not just high upside, that's high floor, high upside. Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Odell Beckham. That's your first 5 rounds. That looks amazing to me, especially with the roster settings. He's going to be able to start all 4 of those wide receivers every single week. Where it gets a little sketchy, starting tight end Irv Smith, I would have liked if maybe instead of Curtis Samuel or something like that, he'd taken a Tunyon or a Goddard or something in that range.
I don't hate it because Irv Smith has a lot of upside. But
I'll be more excited about Irv Smith if they get rid of Kyle Rudolph.
That's the thing.
Until they get rid of Kyle Rudolph, I'm not drafting him in redraft. If Kyle Rudolph's still there, I'm not touching him in redraft till Kyle Rudolph's gone.
That's absolutely the key right there.
Yeah.
NBA says Corey Davis is number 30 this year. Great wide receiver 2 as my wide 100%. Receiver 3. I just want to put it out there. We have a large sample size with Corey Davis, and this is the first year he's put it together. I wouldn't fully trust that this is now a breakout.
Second year he's put it together. His second year in the league, he was ranked 27 or something. This year he's ranked 30 something. Yep. And then second year, it was around the same area that he was this year. And first and third years were 70 and 80 or something.
Yeah. I just would caution against depending on Corey Davis. Right.
It's built in the price. 9th round.
I'm just saying he says great wide receiver 2 is my wide receiver 3. I'm not disagreeing with you, JL. I'm saying I would caution and depending on him. If you draft Corey Davis to guarantee to be your wide receiver 2 or your wide receiver 3, just temper expectations. Because
he also had Marcus Mariota too, those first few years. So, I think take the last year as not necessarily he's going to do that again, but at least it's a little more relevant than, all the variables that are in play each year.
So my opinion on Corey Davis is his contract is up as well. So we don't really know where he's going to be. I think it would make sense for the Titans to re-sign him. But they're on a run-heavy offense, and A.J. Brown is the better receiver out of the 2.
For sure.
So that is a little scary.
Well, I wonder what kind of contract he's going to get if they do re-sign him.
Yeah, I don't know. Dylan says third-year tight end breakout. That's what he's going for. Yeah, and I don't hate that. I think that could happen with Irv Smith. But like I said, just while Kyle Rudolph is in that offense, I'm not drafting him. I'm not pulling for that to happen. They seem to like utilizing Kyle Rudolph. Not in a redraft league. Yeah. Oh, in Dynasty.
I'm all about. Yeah. I'm excited.
Grab Irv Smith. Because eventually Kyle Rudolph will not be on that team. I just don't know if that's this year.
I wanted to bring this up too. NBA said a little while ago, Juju on another team actually has more value. Imagine if he's on the Lions catching the ball from Zach Wilson. Absolutely. I wanted to get Juju in the startup dynasty draft that we're in right now. But it is uncertainty, right? It's not guaranteed more value, but we're inferring that, or we hope that based off his talent.
Yeah. So in my opinion, just for a redraft league, what this draft is, I do not think that Juju has more value on the Lions catching the balls from a rookie.
I don't know that he does either. Yeah, not in the line. I'm just speaking in general. Sorry.
In a dynasty league, yes, I do think that his arrow points upward on a new team a little bit because Ben Roethlisberger is not going to be around forever. But yeah. For 1 year on the Lions, that doesn't really excite me. I'm not saying I wouldn't draft him. I just don't think that improves his value.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was speaking more generally. At least what I know what you're saying. It's about a new team, not the Lions part. Yeah,
exactly.
There are teams that excite me. I agree with you. There are teams where I think his value goes down. There are teams where I think his value goes up. It would be.
And there are some where his value stays exactly the same.
I would really like. Just speaking of destinations for wide receivers, I don't know if they're going to do it, but I would love for the Patriots to get a real wide receiver 1, whether that's Juju or Allen Robinson.
Juju on the Patriots would be interesting.
Juju would be great on the Patriots, but I don't know if he's a wide receiver 1. I don't know if he's wide receiver 1.
That's good. That's good if that's the case, though. I think wherever he goes, if he goes somewhere where he doesn't have to be a wide receiver 1, I think he's going to do a lot better.
That's the thing. He's a slot receiver when it comes.
Let's just send him to the Buccaneers and keep building out that receiving core. They re-signed Chris Godwin, signed
They lose Chris Godwin, gets Juju. I mean, they're probably going to get very similar contracts if we're being honest, right?
To Minnesota. But and then Adam Thielen retires, Justin Jefferson and Juju. Woo!
Thielen is not retiring,
but Justin Jefferson's kind of a slot receiver himself. He's a big slot receiver. But yeah, I see that. Juju on the Ravens. How about that? No, I'm joking. It would work, actually.
Oh, yeah. That might work.
He wouldn't be great for fantasy. I don't know if it would improve his value. I don't think it would.
No. Any receiving option that goes to the Ravens is a decrease in their fantasy value. And that's not hating on the Ravens. They're a great team. I got
one person to throw out there in response to that. How about Kenny Golladay?
What about him?
He goes to the Ravens over the Lions.
Okay, here's what I think with Kenny Golladay. I think regardless of where he ends up, his value goes up from where it is right now next season. I think he's almost at an all-time low as far as value goes after this season with Detroit. And just from like a value standpoint, I'm not sure there's a team he could go to, even if it's the Lions again, where his value is going to go down next season. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just saying Kenny Golladay, a big play receiver that doesn't need a lot of targets. That is like one prototype of wide receiver that actually could improve on the Ravens.
That makes sense. I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, that is the type of player that could find success with a Lamar Jackson-led offense. Yeah. But would that negatively affect Mark Andrews' value? Because I feel like he kind of plays that role right now, like this big guy down the field.
You might be right.
Targets might go up with more people, actual pieces in that offense though as well.
Pieces.
Trying to think the Ravens don't want to get away from running though. They want to be the best run team in the league. I know that.
That's why they got Gus Edwards.
Yeah. Well, we got to re-sign him too.
NBA said Herbert brought value to his wide receivers, so can Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. I'm gonna I know what you're saying. Yes, they can. They can, but just because one rookie wide receiver did it doesn't mean that they will.
Rookie quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rookie quarterback. Sorry.
How about Tua? Did he bring value? No. I mean, Fitzpatrick would have been a better option, I think.
Yeah.
For fantasy.
I don't think Devontae Parker was better off with Tua under quarterback than or under center than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And Zach Wilson's more of a thrower. So I understand your point, NBA Rigged. It's just we can't make that assumption 100. It's maybe.
Like I'm pretty. I went Matthew Stafford here late in the draft, and I've been really interested in Matthew Stafford because the more research I do, the more I think that he can do so much better on a different team, and that makes me think that the Lions basically all this information that we have about the Lions is that they're not well run, right? It's been like a carousel of GMs, coaches. And so, even if by that definition, you get the right pieces there, it doesn't mean that it's going to go well necessarily. And I don't know if that's always the case, right? It's not like the Lions haven't had any success, but I'm nervous about whoever ends up on the Lions next year.
I'm not going to say they're a well-run organization. Let's just put it that way.
Pretty much every player that's leaving the Lions, I'm excited to see where they're going to go. And I think their value will rise. And so that tells me something.
Yeah, seriously.
It's probably not happening this year, but a player I'm excited to see leave the Lions, see if they get a second chance with another team, is Kerryon Johnson.
Same.
I'm curious to see if he can find a second life with another team. He's got another year on his deal, I believe. I think it's one more, might be two more. We'll see if they bring Adrian Peterson back next year. If they don't bring Adrian Peterson back, then Kerryon is probably going to step up as the RB2 on that team behind DeAndre Swift. But we'll see. I'm curious to see, one, what they do this year with Kerryon, if they bring Peterson back, and two, what he's going to do when he leaves that team. That's a dynasty guy I'm looking at drafting later in drafts because I still believe in the talent. I think he's a good running back, just hasn't been able to get it
in the second round.
Yeah, he's got the high draft capital. I feel like we've seen it a couple times. He just hasn't been able to get it going on the Lions.
It's a good pass catcher. You actually made my pick for me.
Jail's up in the dynasty.
I was full planning to take him this time anyway, Simon, and I thought you were going to take him on the turn.
Yeah, I was between LaMichael Pirine and Kerryon Johnson. The reason I ended up going with LaMichael Pirine is because he's got a clear path to being the starting running back next year. I don't think either of them is.
You actually drafted him, JL.
Yeah, JL just drafted Kerryon.
We're in the middle of a dynasty draft right now, and Jay was up, and he drafted Kerryon Johnson. That's hilarious.
Oh my god, no, I completely agree with you, Simon.
Taysom Hill was a great. He was the last quarterback I'm even thinking about.
Yep. Yeah. I saw him there, and I was like, "That's the last one I'm even considering. I'm going to take him now." So
I thought about taking him with my last pick. I already have 4 quarterbacks though, so I was like, ugh. And then Marco reached out to me about he wants Nikhil apparently.
I also, if Nikhil had fallen to me, that's where I would have gone with that pick probably. But you took him. Okay.
Yeah,
is there anything else with this draft you guys want to touch on before we jump off of it? If not, I'm gonna put this down and we can talk about Stafford to the Colts. The same.
By the way, when you were doing the stream, I already made my call on this. I said Stafford, Colts, let's go.
Yeah, I agree. Stafford cannot.
Too much sense.
The Saints can't pay for Stafford.
No, they can't afford it. They'd have to do something like trade Michael Thomas for Matthew Stafford. Like it would have to be something like this huge move, and I just don't see them doing that.
Yeah.
The Colts, oh man, that would
make so much sense.
And I would be so in on
his value is way up.
Stafford and Michael Pittman, like some of these options.
Harris Campbell, even T.Y. Hilton might have a solid year if Stafford goes there.
With that line, that
what about deep sleeper? You guys got any hope for Deion Kane?
Yes.
No, not without injuries.
And oh my gosh, Ray McLeod as well. It's unrelated to the Colts, but just another Clemson. Like, you made me think of Clemson wide receivers and Ray McLeod. I love seeing him take those the kickoffs.
I love it when they call him Ray McDonald like 6 times.
I never heard that.
There was one broadcast. I forget what game it was, what week, but they called him Ray McDonald like 12 times. like it wasn't once.
How do you make that mistake? Like, how do you see
his name would be on the screen. It would say McLeod on his back, and they'd be like, "There goes McDonald with another."
Vance is out there.
It's like when people pop up in our chat, and I can never get their names right. I just turn it into whatever I like thing.
Swamp said he'd like to see Stafford go to the Colts. That'd be hype for sure.
It makes a lot of sense. It just makes a lot of sense.
We have a really important one in here. G-Man J says, I was going to take Taysom. Yeah, well, suck it. I got him. I just wanted to answer that one in depth a little bit.
I was like, why did you show the board for that?
No, this was for Swamp. Swamp wants us to run through his team a little bit before we jump into the game of horse.
Oh, yeah. No problem. So Swamp, real fast. Love Dalvin Cook as a first pick. Kareem Hunt, I think, was a little high. I would rather go with someone like DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, one of the rookies.
I'm fine with the there. Like I really am.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine.
It's like for me too.
Fine.
The thing that stands out to me is, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think you went a little too early on Mike Gesicki, especially going Josh Allen in the next round. Like I love the value on Josh Allen.
You could have gotten Gesicki in like the 7th or 8th round, 7th or 8th or 9th or 10th round.
Yeah, look at that tier of quarterbacks and where they went next. Like Mark Andrews went.
Yeah, value.
Mark Andrews went at 4.6, but then I put Gesicki in the same tier as Noah Fant, Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
And the next one didn't go till the 7th round. Like I really think you could have waited and grabbed him or one of the other ones in that same tier, and your team would look a lot better right now.
Yeah, you'd have another wide receiver too, maybe there where you got Gesicki.
Exactly. Yeah, and that makes all the difference in the world to me. You add another wide receiver to him, that place of Gesicki, and this team looks a lot.
Yeah, you've got T. Higgins there instead of Mike Gesicki, and all of a sudden, I love your team instead of just being okay with it. But it's all about draft value. You know what I mean? Like, if you fully believe Gesicki is a top 5 tight end next year, a top 3 tight end, I still wouldn't draft him right there. I would maybe reach 1 round instead of 3 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, you can ensure you get these guys and reach around and grab them.
Reach around.
reach 1 round and grab them.
Reach
around and grab them, and then you can make sure you get Gesicki.
Gesicki likes that.
So good draft.
I'm not sure I've ever heard his voice.
Yeah,
he definitely sounds like that. He said, "I'll be reaching around."
One round. Do not do that to Gesicki.
At least ask him first.
You're right. You know what? Who am I to say don't do that to Gesicki? Ask Gesicki's permission first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consent is sexy.
I immediately apologized, Jay. I didn't. I was just lashing out.
Oh my god.
N'Keal Harry got taken from me. I really wanted him on my team. Adam Troutman, I thought he was still sitting there and I was going to get him, so he was gone. And so I was just taking a little victory lap, but it wasn't meant to be targeted at you. It was meant to be targeted at Marco and Josh.
Take it, Marco.
I'll give it to them later. We'll
reach around. Swamp says, I don't know where Stafford is rated on PPR, but does it go up if he goes to the Colts? Lower, does it stay the same? It goes way up.
He doesn't catch many passes, so
that's true. PPR doesn't matter.
PPR doesn't matter. I think it goes up if he goes to the Colts. Philip Rivers had decent value with the Colts this year.
It goes up. It goes up. It
definitely goes up. I would not call Matthew Stafford a noodle arm, which I might call.
No. He's got one of the strongest arms ever in NFL history, actually, believe it or not. But, I don't know if he still does. He did when he was younger. But Matthew Stafford, I'm excited to get him in a late redraft league.
Let's get wet.
On the Lions, not as excited.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
We have some water bets to pay out. Are we gonna do that tomorrow? Who's also picking it out with me, or is it just me?
It's me.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
Josh is the only one to say, but Josh is not clear yet. The Chiefs have to win.
Super Bowl.
The Chiefs have to win.
You and I have one. You don't have to pay yours out yet. I'm the only one who has to pay one out.
I can wait till after the Super Bowl.
You can wait till after the Super Bowl. I have to pay one out because of the
Bills Chiefs game.
Bills-Chiefs game, yeah. So I'll pay that out tomorrow. I will not do it in the bathtub. I'm going to figure out a just as exciting but slightly less dangerous way to do it. Whatever I do, I'm going to make sure there isn't a way where I could accidentally drown while home alone.
Good idea.
That's my new criteria for water.
Oh my. Okay, we don't have to talk about that. Never mind.
Josh, that was my mom's biggest concern. I don't know if you were here for the stream that day, but my mom was sitting there. She's like, "Can you imagine if your friends had to just watch you drown to death on live stream?"
Oh my god. Okay,
yeah, my mom. So that's been forbidden by my mother. Okay, next, who's the Colts tight end one? Because that was confusing this season. Well, I think it's going to be confusing next season too.
I hope it's Trey Burton.
It's going to be confusing next season, guys. I'm here to tell you.
I'm here. Hey, Josh here. Here to tell you, Colts situation is going to be confusing.
You know who I almost drafted in our Superflex league? Speaking of tight ends that are a little bit confusing right now, but you don't really know. And I was kind of shocked to see him still sitting there, but I decided I wanted to grab another running back because I've already got a couple tight ends in this dynasty league.
Madison.
No.
I don't know. I'm just looking at your running backs.
Oh, a couple tight ends. Evan Ingram.
Melvin Gordon.
No, you guys did not listen to what I said at all, or I said it completely.
No, I didn't. I
said lots of words for a long time.
Yeah, listen, I never listened to you, Simon.
A tight end that I almost took in the 17th round. Yes.
Melvin Gordon.
I'm gonna
Melvin Gordon.
Blake Jarwin.
Blake Jarwin.
That's
he's still sitting there, and Blake Jarwin's sitting there in the 21st round.
He's in my queue. There are 11 people in my queue. He's one of them.
That's very brave of you to tell both Josh and I that when we both picked twice before you picked next.
That's what I assume. He's not getting back to me anyways. I really don't think he is.
I don't know. I'm not going to take him.
He's the 6th person in my queue right now. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm not going to be sad if he doesn't get to me. I've already got a couple tight ends on my team, so we should be good to go.
Are we playing the game today?
What'd you say? I don't know. We might have to make it pig instead of horse.
No, we could do it.
I got the questions ready. We can blow through them. We can blow through them.
We can.
We'll dispense with the pomp and all the extra award ceremony songs and everything. We'll just go straight to the questions.
Award ceremony songs.
If we need to reach around, we can reach around.
We'll reach around if we need.
Of course.
You're not opposed to a reach around.
Reach arounds are always available.
Okay. That being said, I think we should get started. See, I'm
all right. Let's do
my
it.
lexicon, JL.
Diving in.
Hey guys, I got these questions ready. We probably should go over the rules real fast. I can do it. You want it, Simon?
Quick.
Take it, Josh. Do it. Quick rules. Rapid fire.
Too slow.
Okay. So we're playing Fantasy Horse, very similar to the basketball game Horse. Essentially, I will ask JL and Simon JL or Simon a football related question. The person I ask will then have to decide if he wants to answer the question or if he wants to pass it to the other person. The person I ask will then have to decide exactly. If he answers the question, gets it right, he gets to give a letter to Simon. If it was JL, if the other person gets it right, blah, 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 right? You want to get the questions right, all right?
It's trivia with made up horse stuff.
Made up horse stuff.
You
Don't
guys
spell out HORSE. If you spell out HORSE, you'll lose and you suck.
You guys nailed it. I just want to say
No,
that was
I-
a great team
I
effort.
usually
You
do
guys,
that,
High five.
but I
you guys
should
did
do
a
it
really
now,
good
right?
job.
Really good.
Okay, now that the rules are clearly laid out, we should get started. Who's going first, Josh?
Flip heads or tails?
Flip
Simon.
a heads or tails.
Tails.
It's heads. So,
Damn it.
JL, you want to go first or second?
I want to go first.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and Swamp said, "Oh, Josh, he won a sports bet.
You want a
Check
sports
the
bet? What
Discord.
was it?
He won a lot of money. I don't know. I forget what it was, but check
That's
Discord.
awesome. I will
Sports
check
bets.
it.
Sports bets
listen.
are so yesterday. We're on to GameStop bets.
We're on games. we're on
So
stock
that's
bets.
awesome. I'm
Come on.
gonna check out the Discord after this. I have been incapacitated by Purina, was it? Yeah, I was in deep creek
Purina.
getting drunk, like way too drunk. So,
Do people outside of this area know what
no,
Deep Creek is?
probably not. But I know people in Pennsylvania know what it is, but that's pretty close.
Simon, do
It's
you know
a
what Deep Creek
ski
is?
resort area.
Wait, what?
Do you know what Deep Creek is?
There was a deep creek in my neighborhood we used to swim in.
That's it. Yep, that's where Josh went.
That's
Yeah.
where I went. That's where I was.
I
for a
actually
week.
caught a skin disease from the deep creek in my neighborhood when I was a kid.
Mm.
Spread it around the
Did?
wrestling room. It was called Magno Contagioso, and there was all these little.
Oh my God!
bubbles.
Whoever named that had a great time.
There was
Big Magic fan.
big bubbles that showed up on your skin, and how they got rid of them is they put beetle venom on them that would cause them to blister and pop. And so my whole legs were covered
Bro,
in
you
them. And
nasty.
in like the third grade, I would have like 30
You
popping
nasty.
blisters from beetle venom on my legs.
You nasty.
Side note. Okay, question
Bubble
one,
stick.
Josh.
All right. Question number 1 is for JL. Here we go.
Woo!
In
Diving
a
in.
4-point per passing touchdown league, which of the following quarterbacks had the least amount of fantasy points during the 2020 season? Was it Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, or Matthew Stafford?
Least amount of fantasy points during
The
the
least amount.
Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill. All right, I know it's not Tannehill. Cross him. I'm going to take this, by the way.
Okay.
I know it's not Tannehill. Now, is it Kirk Cousins or Matthew Stafford? I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford.
You are locking in Matthew Stafford, and I appreciate the speed, GL.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. I
right.
think Justin Jefferson did too well for Kirk Cousins to not be at least up there.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
You're locking in
Sorry.
Matthew Stafford. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, in a 4-point per passing touchdown league, Matthew Stafford had 260 points, 260.56 points. All right. We'll say about that much. Ryan Tannehill had 344, so he's way ahead, not even close.
I knew it, yeah.
And Kirk Cousins had 306. All right. Putting
Yeah,
Matthew
right.
Stafford the least amount of fantasy points of the three. If it makes more sense to you guys, Matthew Stafford was ranked 16th, Kirk Cousins was ranked 11th, and Ryan Tannehill was ranked 7th.
I just gave JL the H on accident. Hit the H.
Nice
Josh,
try.
I missed your reveals. I
love them.
They are the
I'm like-
best.
Stephen P says, "Who will be the first hoe?" At first, when I read that, I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" But then I was like, "Oh, we are playing horse."
Simon's a
Oh no, the people are back in here talking sexually to us. That's true.
Swan says, "I won 720 from Scotty Miller getting a TD." Whoop whoop!
Ooh, 720. That's such a good number too. Seriously, I don't know. I like 72. I like 27. I'm serious. 72 and 27.
How about you said it like everyone knew that already?
It's such a good number.
That-
7.
It's a really good number there, Swamp.
I'm
Okay.
just telling you.
That was brave too. I don't think I would have placed that bet.
No, that's
Scotty
awesome.
Miller
That's
scares
awesome.
me.
I
Um,
lost money when I was in Colorado because I bet on Josh Allen to have 3 touchdowns or more in the game against the Ravens, and that is not how that game script worked.
Let's get wet.
wet.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know. Because he put that. Well, let's get wet for a second.
Okay,
All right. Simon, we're
Send
coming
it
to you
my
for
way.
the second question. All right. You're losing. All right.
that's true.
Lose it bad.
Here's your question. In a PPR league, which of the following tight ends had the least amount of fantasy points during the 2020 season? Was it Hayden Hurst, Rob Gronkowski, or Evan Ingram?
I don't think it was Gronk. Evan Ingram had a piss poor season. Hayden Hurst had a okay season, but the standards were different for grading their seasons. I think you had higher expectations for Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram had the fewest fantasy points out of these three. I think Hayden Hurst outperformed Evan Ingram this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the other way around.
Locking it in?
Evan Ingram locked in.
All right. Well, in the 2020 season in a PPR league, Rob Gronkowski was 8th overall out of all tight ends. Who do you want me to go to next?
Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst was 10th overall.
Yep.
And Evan Ingram was 15th overall. So you are correct, Simon. Good job. They were actually not very separated between actual points, though. Hayden Hurst had 0.2 less than Gronk, and Hayden Hurst had 9 more than Evan Ingram. So they were actually very close. But it did.
Josh,
exactly. Watch out.
No. This one is nice. I'm 0 for 2. Well, good thing you didn't put $720 on this one.
Exactly. You answered both the closer options. There's exactly.
Stop trying to make it feel better. You'll get the next one. Okay.
All right, Jail. We're coming to you next. You ready?
Yep.
The game is tied. You might see a theme here. In a PPR league, which of the following wide receivers had the least amount of fantasy points during the 2020 season? Was it DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, or Juju Smith-Schuster?
DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, or Smith-Schuster?
The least amount of fantasy points in a PPR league. Which one?
I think it's Robbie, because I know he had a really hot start. When I did that ADP outperforming stuff, he was incredibly higher than DJ Moore. And then I remember it switched. I'm going to go Robbie.
You're going to take this one?
I'm going to take this one, yeah.
JL is going to take this one. You're locking in Robbie Anderson?
Locking in Rob.
All right. Well, in a PPR league, who had the least amount of fantasy points during the 2020 season? DJ Moore had he was ranked 25th out of all wide receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster was ranked 16th out of all wide receivers. And Robbie Anderson was ranked 19th out of all wide receivers. The correct answer was actually DJ Moore.
Sucker.
Dang it.
Robbie Anderson ended up with about 13 more fantasy points over the course of the season. So it was kind of close.
13. You son of a gun.
I'm sorry.
We can finally answer your question, Steven. Not this one. The other one. JL is the first hoe.
I am the first hoe.
Bravo.
And JL, if it makes you feel any better, even if you would have passed that, you would have still been a hoe. I am painfully aware of how poor DJ Moore did this season. He was my wide receiver 5 going into the year, or 4. Sorry. PPR wide receiver 4 in my projections, but that did not work out.
But the Panthers did have 2 top 25 wide receivers. Something, right? Something.
It's definitely not what I was going to expect to happen.
Yeah, no, me either. I did not expect Robbie Anderson to really do too much this season, even though I was buying into the hype the previous season with the Jets. I don't know why. All right, JL, you are losing. Simon, you are winning. Are you ready for your next question, Simon?
Bring it on. Let's go.
All right. This one's a half-point PPR league. Which of the following running backs had the least amount of fantasy points in the 2020 season? It's a half-point PPR. Kenyon Drake, Miles Sanders, or Ronald Jones? Yeah,
this one's tricky. This one's tricky because some of these guys had like Miles Sanders ended the season strong, but man, was it bad for a lot of the year. Not kind of bad, really bad to start the year. People were giving up on him. Kenyon Drake, I feel like people are very disappointed, because me included, because I had him. It's a top 5 running back. People were drafting him in the first round. But he was fine. He was fine. And Ronald Jones, I think, outperformed expectations, but the expectations were low. So I don't know if that puts him above these other 2 guys, or at least one of them. I feel like I might look really dumb here, but I just think the beginning of the year was so bad for Miles Sanders that he finished the lowest out of these 3 guys. Miles Sanders, locking it in.
Simon is locking in Miles Sanders. Well, in a half-point PPR league, Miles Sanders was the 23rd scoring running back.
Okay.
Kenyon Drake was the 14th scoring running back.
He did all right.
And Ronald Jones was the 16th scoring running back, making Miles Sanders the amount. He scored the least amount in 2020. He had about 156. Ronald Jones had about 172, and Kenyon Drake had 179.
Nice.
Whatever.
So, Simon, I think you gave yourself an HO and you got it right. So I didn't want to. I want to be that guy. Bird up, Kev. Bird up, Kev.
I'm still
Bird up.
Fail, you are an HOR. I am an H.
Swamp Nola got this one correct. Hopefully he's not 0-4.
Heck yeah,
He is not. Let's get wet.
Let's get wet. Yeah, baby.
And Stephen P said, I'm going to go with Drake on principle. I had him and he sucked. He did suck for his ADP, but he actually ended up pretty good.
That's what I was saying, is he was actually fine. Like he was a high-end RB2. Just the way people drafted him, me included, that was disappointing. Okay.
Exactly.
John Luke.
You're in a hole here, John. I don't think I've ever called you John in my life.
I hope you never do again.
Mr. John, sir.
I won't. JL, John Luke.
You're the my dad.
Let's go. Mr. John. All right. You ready, JL?
I'm ready.
Okay. Alvin Kamara had a fantastic 2020 season, scoring more than every other fantasy running back in a PPR league. My question is, in a PPR league, did Saquon Barkley ever score more fantasy points than Alvin Kamara did this season?
Like in the same week?
In the same year, in a season. Did Saquon Barkley ever score more fantasy points in a season than Alvin Kamara did this season?
Than Alvin Kamara did this season. Okay, I got you. I don't know. I'm afraid to pass this because if Simon gets me, I'm done for.
It always feels bad passing 50-50s as well. Like,
yeah. All right, I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Did Saquon Barkley ever have a better season than Alvin Kamara did this season?
I'm gonna say yes.
You're gonna say that Saquon Barkley did have a better season previously?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't this season. I'll tell you that much if it was.
Are you sure?
Are you locking that answer in?
I'm locking it in.
All right. Well, did Saquon Barkley ever score more fantasy points than Alvin Kamara did this season? Yeah, he did. Alvin Kamara had about 377 points this year. Saquon Barkley had 385 in 2018, his rookie year. Josh math, but it happened. Saquon Barkley had a better season his rookie year than Alvin Kamara did this year. Kind of surprising, huh?
Hey, Swamp got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Swampy.
Yeah, well, you guys are a bunch of stink asses.
Whoa.
Hey, you're winning, Simon. Simon,
why
you're winning.
Insulting Josh? He's the one that's helping you.
I think you're shooting that at Swamp or me.
Wait, why is Josh? How is Josh helping me?
He's giving you easy answers.
All right, man.
Ones that don't include Robbie Anderson.
I knew that one.
NBA Break said I should have known Robbie Anderson question because if you see how I drafted him on Monday.
NBA Rig knows everything.
NBA, the one thing I want to say about that is just there's more to that story than just that he finished as the number 19 wide receiver. You need to look at the first half versus the second half of the season. Look at the trends for how they used him. His usage went way down in the second half of the year. And it's scary to just count on him just reverting back to how they used him in the first half of the season. Right. I'm not saying he's a bad option, but there's more to the story than just he was the wide receiver 19 on the season. There's a little bit more to it than that.
I think that's what he's saying here. Maybe.
Well, I think he's just saying, look, my team's pretty sick. I have the 19th wide receiver here. I got some good value on him. I think that's pretty much what NBA Rig's saying. And he's not wrong.
Robbie Anderson.
No, I think he's a good value. Just I wouldn't expect a wide receiver 19 season out of him next year.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right.
Okay. It's my question.
To you, Simon. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, my question for you, Deshaun Watson, he also had a great 2020 season, scoring the 5th most fantasy points out of all quarterbacks. My question is, In a 4-point per passing touchdown league, did Deshaun Watson just have his best fantasy year of his career?
Points wise or finish wise?
Points wise.
Okay.
I have the points listed.
Where are those children screaming? I know I
Probably outside my window.
My house.
That is creepy.
The private Catholic school, like near my house, they just use the park in front of my house. It's like their own park. It makes no sense.
Well, that was creepy. It just got quiet, and then all of a sudden I heard like a child screaming in the back.
I can't hear it because I have this noise.
I definitely heard a child screaming. You should probably check in on them. I mean, when I hear a child screaming,
they're playing, Josh.
I would not go check on them. I would not be the random adult man who walks over
and stare out your window real creepily
to check on the children. Okay, my answer to this question is
Deshaun Watson was the 5th highest scoring quarterback this year. In a 4-point per passing touchdown league, did Deshaun Watson just have his best fantasy year of his career? What's your answer, Simon?
No.
You're saying this is not the best fantasy year of his career, points-wise.
Correct. Yep, I think he's scored more points in a year.
Absolutely. And I actually want to check because I believe he's been the number 5 overall quarterback the last 2 years, or the last 3 years now. This has been his 3rd consecutive year. In 2017, he scored about 211 points. That was his rookie year, his worst year. 2018, he scored 383 points. In 2019, he scored about 374 points. And in 2020, he scored, without DeAndre Hopkins, 434 points. A lot more than he's ever scored before.
Do on a different team, stupid Texans.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, this was surprising to me a little bit, honestly.
I thought without DeAndre Hopkins, I knew he'd had high finishes before, but I thought without DeAndre Hopkins that maybe he dipped a little.
Simon, you frequently make fun of my Clemson bias. And I just want you to know that pretty much all of my Clemson takes this offseason hit. So
Mike Williams,
pretty much.
what did you say for Mike Williams?
I didn't say that he would be bad. I didn't say that he would be good. I don't think I had a take other than that. I like him, but I didn't say that he was going to take a jump this year. So
okay,
Jail.
The only Clemson take you had this offseason was T. Higgins, and I didn't hate your T. Higgins.
DeAndre Hopkins. You thought DeAndre Hopkins wasn't going to be as good in Arizona because stuff.
Yeah, I'll eat it on that. I've admitted the DeAndre Hopkins thing before because I had him originally as my wide receiver 2 in my projections. And I saw someone tweet out like anyone who has DeAndre Hopkins above wide receiver 5 is just doing poor analysis. And I panicked and I went back and that's the last time I let someone else's opinion like that affect my process. Cause like I had gone through, looked at the numbers, looked like there wasn't just me like willy-nilly putting them up there.
Willy-nilly.
Lesson learned. Clemson wide receivers will always be successful.
This is his Ray McDonald year. Sorry. This is his 3rd consecutive year, Deshaun Watson being the 5th overall quarterback.
Wow. He's good, man. He's going to get his.
Yep.
He says Picard is a horde. Yep. That's Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc. Okay. Whose turn is it? Jean-Luc's. Speaking of Mr. Picard himself, Captain Picard.
And we have a tied game. Good job, Simon, coming back here. Are you ready, John?
I came back, you dingus.
I came.
Good job, JL, coming back here. I'm sorry. Good job letting JL come back here, Simon. I actually like some GLMD. Oh man, yeah, Jake. I actually like the song.
Oh,
you got my vibes. You got my vibes.
No, I have that playing right now. It's literally in my. Yeah, it's not that song, but I have J. Cole playing.
Oh, that's actually kind of crazy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep going because
the NBA says every wide receiver has a story, but you can surely draft Robbie Anderson next year. Yeah, I agree with that. Just make sure you're looking at. Make sure you're looking at the whole story. That was the whole point I was making. It sounds like you are. You're fully aware of it. Yeah, I was never saying you weren't. Just I wanted to make sure.
It's a good point.
Yeah, the rankings don't tell
the box score for the season, right? Like just looking at where they finished, like it's a really good lesson, and a lot of people do play that way, and so it's a super easy advantage that you can have.
Yep. Look at the story. Read it like a book. Okay.
Read like a book. You don't read books.
I read books all the time. I just don't read the books your ass recommends.
Your fantasy. My ass is recommending you books? I didn't know I did that.
JL always is like, read this business book. And I'm
My
like,
ass
I'm
is saying that.
I'm gonna read about goblins and
Yeah,
Genghis
your
Khan and
fantasy.
stuff.
Your Khan historical fan fiction.
It's not fan fiction. It's just historical fiction. Is there sex in the book? Yes.
Do I enjoy it? Maybe.
Okay, moving on,
right.
people. Who's up? It's jail. Jail, you're up.
All right.
Anyway, you ready? You ready, Joe? You ready?
Yeah, I think Simon is like lost in his book though.
I am lost in
he's
the book.
reading
I'm ready.
there.
It's your question, so I was just letting you take it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hit you with it right now, JL. So, there were 8 players with at least 100 catches during the 2020 season. How many of them were wide receivers?
Say that again. There are 8 players.
Can read it.
Oh, you put it up. Duh. With 100 catches during the 2020 season, how many of them were wide receivers? What is this question, Josh?
I know. I like this one. I like this one. I really like this one.
Here's this question for you. There were
You're
8 players with it. Yeah, I'm passing it to you.
Simon wasn't ready. Simon. Yeah.
He's distracted reading his book. We're on a live stream.
Genghis Khan was getting jiggy with it, so I had.
Wait, what?
It's Chungus.
He was going for it. I said Genghis Khan was having himself a heyday in this chapter. It was a really interesting part. So what
are you talking? Wait,
he's reading his book. It's
Genghis Khan. I didn't know it was about. I guess I wasn't
historical fan fiction.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's actually cool. So,
thank you. I'll get back to my book.
My God.
Well, answer this question, Simon.
We are buffoons.
Okay, there were 8 players. And I need to tell you how many of them were wide receivers. No like variance, no like plus or minus.
No. Tell me how many of the 8 with 100 catches were wide receivers.
Okay, so Travis Kelce definitely had 100 catches, I think. So there's one that's definitely not. I have to imagine at least which running back led the league in catches. Carry the 2, track 7. Account for variance.
Question.
Do the linear regression model of the 2. Okay, 1 second. If this is, it's going to look like this. Okay. 6.
You're going to say 6 of the 8 players with 100 catches were wide receivers.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna count them down for you. Stephon Diggs, he had 127 catches. Devontae Adams had 115 catches. DeAndre Hopkins, 115 catches. Here's where it gets interesting. Darren Waller, 107 catches.
No.
Travis Kelce, 105 catches. Allen Robinson, 102 catches. Tyler Lockett, 100 catches. And last but not least, Keenan Allen with 100 catches. You are correct, Simon. There's 2 tight ends, no running backs. Keenan Waller with more catches than Kelce? That I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that actually.
You're a freaking cheater.
How am I a cheater? I said it was Travis Kelce.
You can have it written on your little bottle over there.
This is a pineapple soda.
You're probably looking it up while I was trying to decide if I was going to take it or not.
We were just talking about that not long ago, right? That's awesome. I've never seen one.
It's the best.
Oh my, JL, you're being put in a weird position here.
I don't like it.
It's my question. I could end the game right here.
But
and Simon, this is your question.
Such a Josh question.
Such a Josh question.
Is it? I hate this question.
Are you ready, Simon?
Swamp, I gotta address him. He's a F.U. Waller. Do not talk about my man Darren Waller like that. I love him.
Yeah.
He's my celebrity crush.
It's close. Very close.
Real close.
Are you guys ready for this next one? Because if you like the last one.
Nice picture, Admiral. Great movie.
Swamps at 7.
Okay, give me my question. Let me put Jail out of his misery real quick.
I don't know.
If you like the last one, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. All right. There were 9 players with at least 1,000 rushing yards during the 2020 season. How many of them were running backs?
So there were no wide receivers, tight ends, or kickers that had 1,000 rushing yards. The only thing it could be is a quarterback. Were there any quarterbacks with 1,000 rushing yards this season? Did Lamar Jackson get to 1,000? I feel like he rushed significantly less this year. Kyler Murray get to 1,000. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna try to put you out of your misery, and I'm gonna get out of the chat. JL, you get out of the chat too.
That's how you cheated last time.
No, they all got it wrong anyway.
This time I'm gonna get out of the chat. It's not gonna be like last question.
Yeah, I cheat. That'd be like trying to cheat off of me in college. Like yeah, you can copy my answers, but it's not gonna go well for you. Okay. I'm gonna say the actual answer is.
We should tell that story.
I think you're trying to trick me. And I think all 9 of them were running backs. I think all 9 of these players were running backs. I'm gonna say 9 out of 9 are running backs. I'm gonna say no quarterbacks got to 1,000 yards, and maybe that's stupid, but I think it's 9. 9.
Locking that in?
Locking it in.
Locking in 9. All right. So there were 9 players with 1,000 rushing yards during the 2020 season. How many of them were running backs? I'm gonna run it down for you. Get ready.
Run it down. You're gonna run it back.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me just load this real fast. Okay. Number 1, Derrick Henry, 2,027 rushing yards. Number 2, Dalvin Cook, 1,557. Jonathan Taylor, 1,169. Aaron Jones, 1,104. David Montgomery, 1,070. James Robinson, 1,070. Nick Chubb, 1,067. Josh Jacobs, 1,065. And last but not least, Lamar Jackson. 1,005. You are wrong. Get out of here.
Oh,
and the game's tied.
Oh gosh.
Lamar sneak in there.
How many yards did he have? How many did he have?
Boy.
Wait, what was the number?
1,005.
God, barely snuck in there. I knew he was close. I thought he was right below it. God, stinky poo-poo.
Let's get wet. Let's get wet.
This is how Josh questions me feel. I want to flip my desk.
Wanna. I like wanna being spelled like that. I wanna. Okay.
JL. It's tied. JL, you got the last question.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not going to be all cocky like Simon and jinx myself.
All right, here it comes. In a PPR league, which of the following rookies had the most fantasy points during the 2020 season? Chase Claypool.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Antonio Gibson or T. Higgins? JL.
Oh, I thought it said least. Okay. Since this is most, it's a little bit harder, but not much. This is stupid. JL, I hate you. This is so dumb.
Which one is it? Which one had the most?
I think it was Chase Claypool.
You tell me.
Oh, God, do I take this? I can't give it to Simon. It's not hard enough. I threw the last one at him.
That's what she said.
Work. Oh God. All right. I'm gonna say Claypool.
Claypool?
Yeah.
You're locking in Chase Claypool.
Yep.
All right. Well, in a PPR league,
I think Claypool was last out of these 3.
During the question, you said he was first, I thought.
No, yeah, I was trying to trick him into picking the wrong answer. I really think Claypool is last.
All right. Well, in a PPR league, which of the following rookies had the most points during the 2020 season? We'll start with the first one here, Chase Claypool. He had 214.9 fantasy points.
Oh, that's a lot more than I thought he had.
Antonio Gibson had 202.2, and T. Higgins had 194.6.
Oh, you stinky horse! Woo!
Good job, JL. Good job.
Woo!
Good job.
You stinking fan fiction loving horsey boy.
It's not fan fiction.
Swamp Gibson is a running back, I know, but he is still a rookie. And the question was, which rookies?
Gibson didn't get enough catches.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're getting it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be
I love when you did the kick last time.
Well, this time we're gonna be a horse eating an apple.
With the hands? That's an elephant too. You guys made fun of me for being.
I didn't do a trunk though. You literally did a trunk.
I didn't do a trunk.
You literally grew a trunk.
That was a really good game, guys. That was a really good game. Back and forth. You got a lot of them right, a lot of them wrong. Thank you. They were amazing questions. I know.
Josh, I don't know where you hid that banner, but can you take it off the screen so they can see our Twitter handles?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Let's get. Wait, did I hide the banner? I didn't hide the banner.
That's perfect.
No, that's
JL, congrats on your stupid victory. Josh,
Thank
you for the amazing questions. I really appreciate it.
Really good guesses.
Got to be Claypool. Yeah, you guys are all right. I'm a big fat stupid horse idiot. I get it. Before we jump off, guys,
trading makes fantasy fun.
I was gonna say you got there before I did. Please follow us on YouTube and Twitch, Front Yard Fantasy. We're here every day at 3 p.m. Eastern, playing fun games, doing mock drafts, answering your questions, talking nonsense. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Unless you guys have anything else, we're gonna jump for now.
Thanks for playing. That was fun.
Adios.
Good guesses.